Chapter 68. Amanda. Amanda hugged Adam close, feeling his small, warm body against hers. She could feel his chest rise and fall with each uneven breath he took. She rushed back to her shared rooms with John, her thoughts racing from everything that had happened in the courtyard. How the hell did Ben get a hold of Adam? And where was Leah? She thought of what Adam said, how Daddy made him go to sleep and felt rage. Amanda couldn't imagine what Leah was going through. Leah had done so many things in the past she questioned, like marrying Ben, but her love for her son was something Amanda never doubted. She reached for the door and maneuvered herself, using one hand to open it while keeping a tight grip on Adam, his little rump resting on her protruding belly. She fumbled with the doorknob and took a step back as the door swung open. John's eyes widened in shock as he stood frozen before her, caught off guard. She sighed, her body relaxing, relieved to see him.
"Amanda?"
John looked at her, his hand coming to support her back, leading her into their rooms.
"You need to put the boy down. You shouldn't be carrying him in your condition."
She pressed a finger against her lips, releasing a soft shh sound. Her eyes gestured to Adam's sleeping head resting on her shoulder.
"What's going on?"
he asked in his low, deep voice. "Let me put him down and we'll talk. Oh boy, do we need to talk." John reached out for Adam, but she shook her head. She knew that if John startled Adam awake, it would scare and upset him. The boy was already traumatized, and John was a complete stranger to him. A stranger. Her husband was a stranger to her best friend's child. She had become so detached from her previous life that Adam, a significant part of her life, didn't even know her husband. There was something very wrong with that. Something that made her realize how isolated she was from everyone and everything in her life before the decree. She swallowed, feeling such a fool. Everything she believed was deteriorating right in front of her. It was becoming increasingly clear that what Leah and Kai had warned her about was proving to be true. She was becoming convinced she was a victim of deception, lured like a brainwashed groupie into the dangerous arms of Malcolm Gobo and his psychotic wife. Ugh, how could she have been so blind? She thought of how cold Tabitha was in the courtyard, how she locked Adam in isolation, a 3-year-old little boy locked up like a criminal. What kind of monster did that? And how did it take her this long to notice? John stood, his brow furrowed and concerned as he gazed at her. One hand remained planted on the small of her back, providing a steady source of support. His piercing blue eyes searched hers for any sign of distress or discomfort. My God, she adored him. How could she have made one of the worst mistakes of her life, and yet have it result in the best thing to ever happen to her? She entered their bedroom, noticing that the bed was still neatly made, just as she left it this morning. She untangled the sleeping child from her tight embrace. Adam resisted, clinging to her neck.
"No, Mama, no,"
he called out, still asleep, even in his dreams afraid to let go of his mother.
"Shh, Adam, you're okay. You're safe here. You're safe here with me and John."
She lowered him onto the bed and leaned over to grab the comforter from the other side, laying it over Adam's body. He molded into the sheets, his little hands reaching out for comfort as he buried his head under the covers, still fast asleep.
"Mama?"
Shh.
"Go to sleep, buddy. It's okay."
Amanda stroked his hair from his forehead and leaned down to kiss his cheek, tucking him in. His breath became raspy and fast. She sat down on the edge of the bed and rubbed his back in a circular motion until his breathing calmed to an even, rhythmic breath of deep sleep. Leaning down, she kissed him once again on the cheek and stood to go, leaving the door open in case he woke up. She turned the light off and stared for a moment in the doorway at Adam, sleeping soundly.
"The poor little darling."
She closed her eyes, thinking of her friend and how on earth she was dealing with not knowing where Adam was and if he was okay. Amanda's hand instinctively touched her stomach. Mothers protected their babies. That's what mothers did. She had to protect Leah's baby. She had to at all costs. John came up from behind her, looking in at the sleeping Adam.
"You settled?"
She looked up at him, nodding.
"I need to know what's going on."
He reached for her hand and led her into the living room towards the couch and helped her ease into the cushions he'd arranged for her. Sighing, she relaxed back, not realizing how much her back was killing her from carrying Adam for so long. John fiddled with the pillows surrounding Amanda until she placed a comforting hand on his arm, indicating that she was good. The baby moved, little limbs moving across her stomach.
That's right, little one, that's right. Kick me. Kick me good and hard. Let me know that you're there.
Her voice trailed away as her mind scrambled to make sense of what was happening and how the hell she was going to get Adam back to Leah. Because that was exactly what she planned to do. There was no way Amanda could ever look herself in the mirror again, or look at her child in the face if she didn't get Adam back to his mother. Now she just had to tell John. The problem was, despite witnessing what went on with Yasmin, John remained steadfastly loyal to the decree. He still couldn't grasp that all he knew wasn't true. But then again, she'd been the same way, until she wasn't. It happened so quickly, like the yanking of the curtain from her eyes. John came back into the room carrying a glass of icy water and handed it to her. She thanked him and drank it down, allowing the cool water to slide down her parched throat, not realizing she was this thirsty. She downed the entire glass. The baby responded, flipping and flopping, making her stomach jerk around. A gasp escaped her lips as she lifted her shirt, exposing her taut, round stomach. Their faces lit up with joy. Both stared in awe as their child's movement rolled across her stomach. Laughing, John couldn't resist the urge to bend down and press his cheek against her stomach, feeling the baby inside move against his skin. Amanda's heart soared and crushed all at once.
John?
Cupping her stomach, John kissed it, feeling the child settling within. He lowered her shirt back over her stomach, smoothing it out, and clasped her hands in his.
"Who's the boy?"
he began, noticing Amanda's reluctance to speak.
Adam, Leah's son.
"Adam? But how? How on earth did he end up here?"
Amanda shook her head and leaned forward, placing her forehead in the palms of her hand.
Ben took him.
"Took him?"
He stole him from Leah, drugged him, and kidnapped his own child from his mother.
John stared at her with a mixture of disbelief and confusion, struggling to process the words she was speaking.
"Why do you have him?"
Amanda sat up straight, taking a deep breath, trying to prepare herself for what was coming next.
Tabitha gave him to me. She said it's my job to care for him and help him adapt into the decree.
"You? What about Ben?"
The look on John's face was one of bewilderment, lost for words.
"What the hell? This can't be right. His mother must be sick with worry."
Adam's her whole life.
Amanda was surprised how easy it was for her motherhood to become the most important thing that mattered. Her baby wasn't even born yet, and she understood that need to protect her child. She couldn't get Leah out of her head, and what she must be going through at this very moment. She turned to John, hoping he would understand, hoping he would help. Either way, she had no choice.
I need to get Adam back to Leah.
John didn't say a word as he placed his hand over hers again. They stayed that way for a few moments. John's head bent down, unable to look at Amanda.
"What are you suggesting?"
His voice was low, yet clear.
Something's not right here. Something is really wrong, John.
He sighed, yet his shoulders did not sag or shake. He was still solid and strong, mulling over what Amanda said, as he always did, even if they disagreed. She prayed he would agree this time.
"But how could we have been
fooled?"
Amanda finished his sentence before he could. John looked at her.
"We need to find out more. There must be a reason Ben took Adam. There has to be more to the story than we know."
Amanda nodded her head, her eyes watering, her throat threatening to close.
"We can't just up and leave with Ben's son."
He patted her lap, trying to comfort her.
"We need more information. Something solid about what is going on before we jump to conclusions."
Amanda didn't lift her head, tears forming in the corner of her eyes.
Why?
She blurted out.
Why can't we leave? Why can't we get Adam and get the hell out of here right now?
"Amanda."
John rolled his eyes, tilting his head back, exasperated.
We could stay with Leah and Hayden. They have a midwife.
John ran his hands over his smooth, bald scalp, agitated.
"You're getting ahead of yourself. I'm not ready for that. I need to know more about what is going on. Talk to Malcolm."
John, no!
Panic rose inside of Amanda, harsh and unexpected, taking John by surprise.
You can't talk to Malcolm. If you love me, John, if you hold anything that we have together is real, then you must promise me you do not speak to Malcolm about this.
She pleaded, cupping one of his hands between hers as if in prayer.
I just feel it in my heart, in my soul, that it would be the end.
The end of what? That's insane! You're talking crazy. I've been with Malcolm for a long time, Amanda. A really long time.
He lowered his voice, trying to keep the volume of it down so as to not wake up Adam and for anyone outside their rooms to overhear them.
Wonder if it's true, John? Wonder if what Leah said that day in the forest was true?
John leaned back against the couch, feeling himself becoming frustrated and not knowing what to do.
You know what you're saying, right, Amanda? You know what you're suggesting we do?
Yes.
She leaned back beside him, both looking straight ahead.
Give me some time to see for myself what is going on. Please. I ask just for a little time.
Amanda's shoulders dropped, defeated, and she slid sideways into John, curling up into his waiting arms.
Can you do that, my sweet girl? Can you give me just some time to look into things? See what is going on?
I think we should leave now, John. Right now. I don't like it here anymore. I don't feel safe.
He hugged her, kissing the top of her head. Her body wanted to relax in his warm embrace, but she couldn't. Everything inside her wanted to run.
I feel like everything we know is a lie,
Amanda said, squeezing her lips tight, trying to push down the growing anxiety alerting her to danger.
Let me tell you this, and you choose to believe it or not. What is real? You and me, and our family. That's real, and nothing is going to change that. Nothing.
She tilted her head, looking into his startling blue eyes that always took her breath away. He leaned down and pressed a warm, lingering kiss on her lips.
You and me, Amanda Wilder. We are real.
She felt it. She did. Knew with every fiber of her body that she and John were real. But all she could think of was Tabitha, giving her some cold, hard facts that sounded like a warning or, even worse, a threat. It caused chills to run up her arms again, making her afraid. She snuggled deeper into John's side, wishing that she could just forget everything for a moment. Just for one moment. But Tabitha's words pecked at her brain over and over and over again, much like the emergency broadcasting system that blared out its warning signal late at night. The deafening sound ringing through her eardrums and reverberated into her mind.
I'm afraid, John. I'm afraid.
I'm here. I've got you. I've got us.
She heard his words and wanted to believe them, but something had changed in her. A new feeling took root the moment she caught sight of Leah in the woods, with the tall, dark stranger who looked like a male supermodel stepping out of a nature magazine. Kai. The man who looked at Amanda like she was the enemy. The bad guy. Was she the bad guy? Was John? Leah's son lay in the next room, traumatized after being drugged and kidnapped by his own father. His father, who was part of the decree. Like them. Leah. Leah was always good. She was nothing but innocent, kind, and sweet to everyone, even when they weren't always the same back. She was an excellent mother. From the day Adam was born, Leah showed unwavering devotion to her son. Leah was good.
Are we the bad ones?
The words slipped from Amanda's mouth.
What's that?
John replied, his thoughts distant.
The bad guys, John. Are we the bad guys?